type.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. It is a chilly, crisp day in the South today. Is it not, Jabes?
It really is. It really is.
Ooh, we're bundled up. I'm in layers.
I know.
I'm in layers.
You know, I like to, show the goods.
Yeah.
And
you haven't been able to.
I haven't been able to, and
you haven't been able to show the girls.
No.
Yeah.
I like a cool studio because I run hot, not to brag.
Sure.
I sweat a lot.
Yeah.
But not this cold.
Sure. I'm like a fucking Vidalia onion. I am just layered. There's just layers and layers. I feel like I'm constantly going up for the fucking heavyweight championship of the world, and right. I'm training right now. This is what I'm always wearing hoodies now. Because of the frigidness. It's not supposed to be this cold in the South.
Is it not?
Nashville and Atlanta right now are under siege. Alabama's under siege.
It's just snowing a little bit. They're not
Snowpocalypse.
They're not under siege.
Nope. There's images of people with handguns and whiskey.
2 days of snow.
Nope.
So
nope. They are under siege. They're not seeing or hearing this right now. They are under siege.
I think they're okay.
Thoughts and prayers to Alabama.
I think they're all right.
And parts of Georgia and definitely North Carolina. This is the second time, and parts of Tennessee. This is the second winter storm in the South that has produced snow. Look, I grew up in Atlanta as a child. We were averaging probably about once a year. You get a nice little crop dusting of snow once a year, maybe 1 to 2 inches. 1 to 2 inches, Jabes.
I love a little crop dusting.
A little crop dusting worth of snow. This is the second Snowpocalypse. I'm out of bread.
It's just a day.
No, I'm down to bread and mustard. It's bread and mustard. We're all dying.
It seems to be okay. It seems that
it is not okay. I've seen people in the South losing their shit. They're giving neighbors giving each other amateur tattoos where it's just like, I've never tried this before. Let's give it a go.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
Are we getting out of here? I don't know.
We're probably not. And it's become a jail cell. You give me a tattoo. I've never done it before, but I've always wanted to. Now's your time. So we're seeing a lot of amateur tattoo artists come out of this. We're seeing turtle deaths at a record rate.
Box turtles?
Box, snapper,
interesting.
sea. That's as far as my turtle knowledge goes. But
the snow is killing the sea turtles. That is under siege.
Frigid. That's what's happening. I'm kidding. I don't know about the turtle. I don't. Where the fuck do turtles go when it snows?
I mean.
Yeah. Ask yourself that. Yeah, they can hide
into
in
their shells.
Yeah, but still, it's fucking.
Where does any animal? I mean, we're not going to single out the turtle. Where does
bears go into caves, things like that? But I don't know.
Foxes.
I don't know because we have a pond by us. It's got
ducks.
Hundreds of turtles. Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went by there during the Snowpocalypse a couple weeks ago.
One day we had 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, it was 3 days.
Snowpocalypse. No, it was 1 day of snow, and it lingered.
It lasted. It was 3 or 4 inches. It lasted for a fucking week. But I went back to the pond, which was frozen over, and I was like, "Where the fuck are those hundreds of turtles that we always see?"
Sure.
No sign of them.
Right.
What are they going to get out of the water and then go into the snow and which is worse?
Yeah.
I don't have the answers. I'm not a fucking scientist.
Yeah.
I've never claimed to be one, Jessie.
It's a dead end.
And I hate that you put that on me.
It's a dead end road.
Yeah. It really is.
It's a dead end that we're going.
Welcome to Ross Patterson Revolution, kids. We're braving the cold. We made it out today to the studio to do a show for people. Mm-hmm. Whether they're going to be able to see it or not, it's another story. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're under siege,
Under
apparently.
siege. Snowpocalypse. Get the government out here. There's snow all over your hands. We have some sponsors who pay for this whole shindig to be on the air, so we're gonna get to them first. First and foremost, blackriflecoffe.com. Ooh, cheers.
Ooh, cheers.
Cheers to you.
Clink.
Delightful. There is nothing better than a piping hot cup of Black Rifle coffee during the Snowpocalypse. When you're under siege, you need BRCC to get you through the day. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION. Get yourself some coffee. They got K-Cups. They got bags. My two favorite blends are Just Black and Caffeinated as Fuck. Huge fan of them. And they don't bleep out the word fuck, by the way, on the bags or the K-Cups. It actually says the word fuck, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, because they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. They're veteran owned, and they're out of fucks to give is what they are. And their apparel's dope as shit. Luckily, during the Snowpocalypse, it's nice to have an apparel company that can keep me warm and keep me looking fresh.
Stylish.
Fresh, yep. Although my ding-dong may be small because of the weather, my heart is as warm as the sunshine in Florida. I don't know where this is going. I'm going to be honest. I have fucking lost it during the Snowpocalypse right now. I'm on Razor's Edge, James. I'm on Razor's fucking edge out here.
Guys, it's really nice here today.
Oh, I'm on Razor's Edge, James. I'm on fucking Razor's Edge. Go to blackriflecoffee.com.
So
Use the promo code
weird.
REVOLUTION for 20% off. Get the subscription to the month club. It just shows up to your fucking house. Dope as fuck. That's nice. It's nice. Even during the Snowpocalypse, there was the box was sitting there from Black Rifle Coffee. Really doing it. Really
I'm on
doing it.
Razor's Edge.
I'm on Razor's Edge. Speaking about being on Razor's Edge. Ooh, how about being on straight Razor's Edge?
Ooh, yes.
Let's pop this girl open. Let's do it.
Oh,
on a day
hello.
like today.
Oh,
Hi-yo.
Look at that.
Yeah. Boom. StraightRazors.com. You want to talk about being on Razor's Edge? We're on it today. They make the finest straight razors in the fucking biz, kids. This is to wipe the shaving cream off, by the way. My straight razor is actually in the bathroom. I'm probably supposed to use it on set, but I fucking use it every day. So, hashtag sorry, not sorry, that I shave and look delightful for you every day, Jabes. StraightRazors.com is got everything you need to be a fucking man in this world. If you were questioning your maninity or manhood, a lot of people are saying, go to StraightRazors.com. Get yourself a nice razor kit. The fucking weather's causing my tongue to freeze, James. I'm on the fucking edge. Get yourself a kit and really pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Dance. They've got shampoos, beard oils, conditioners, mustache waxes. They got number one ranked aftershave in the world and the number one ranked cologne. Smolder. It is the fucking jam. And if you go to their Facebook page, all my ads are running where I did the mustache wax campaign. Dope as fuck. Big fan. I'm surprised they let me do it. It's awesome. Go to straightrazors.com, type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Get yourself a kit. Last but not least, we're talking about strikeforceenergy.com.
Boom, boom, boom. Under siege.
Under siege. The only thing that melts through the snow is Strikeforce Energy. Yeah, you squeeze a little Strikeforce in the snow, melt it away.
Clean your driveway, your walk.
Clean your old, clean your gooch off too. You know, just saying. Put a little Strikeforce underneath that gooch, and you'll be re-energized all day. You will. Go to strikeforceenergy.com for the premier energy drink in all of the biz. It's a tasty, tiny little tin pouch full of energy. Squeeze open the fucking wrapper and boom, goes into any liquid available, which is fucking dope. They got 4 flavors: original, Make America Great Again, orange, and lemon. They also got a 750 milliliter bottle that sits on your bar top or countertop. Oh, James. I just caught you in a moment. I just caught you in a fucking moment. You just check the fuck out. You just checked the fuck out. The weather's getting to you.
No, it's
Under
not.
siege. We're under siege. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Get yourself a subscription. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off.
Give me a break.
If luckily this is a video show, if we can see the moment that you checked out your eyes.
Where did I go? Where was I? I don't know.
This was you. It was like the moment before somebody faints on live television.
Yeah.
Where you're just like,
It goes dead eyes, shark eyes.
You were like, I mean, you went down. You were like, and like, I don't know if you're gonna snap out of it. Because contrary to popular belief, I can see you on the show.
I know. I don't know.
Snowpocalypse. Frigid temperatures.
I don't know what.
This show's going to be
too much.
fucking chaos today.
It's only been like 10 minutes.
Has it? I feel like it's been a lifetime. You were like, whoa. I thought you were going to black out and just roll off the thing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I was going to go to a single and just be like, all right, cool, man.
See you.
I guess I'll do the rest of the show.
Just hear me.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah. And you don't even like see if I'm okay or
Be
anything.
great for ratings.
You just...
When Wendy Williams went down a few weeks ago, it was great for rating.
That wasn't a real faint.
Yes. She went down hard.
But who like...
It's Wendy Williams. It's Wendy Williams.
But like
when she
you
went
go,
down like that,
you just go. Like you're not like.
No, you know. Like she was dressed like the Statue of Liberty, and which, let's face it, Wendy Williams has always been odd looking to me.
Very.
She looks like Laverne Cox to me. Kind of like a very dudeish.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of.
I definitely
kind of like a transvestite to me. A little bit.
Yes.
And there was nothing more unflattering than her dressed as the Statue of Liberty, with just going down like that, where you're just like, oh boy, that's going to be a meme forever. Yeah. And you almost joined that club. If somebody at home could freeze frame Jabe's face during the Snowpocalypse,
don't do it.
It would be really
You'll be
awesome.
under siege. I don't know. Anyway,
we can call in Trump's doctor and he could clear you.
To see if I have any cognitive issues.
No matter what you have, he's going to say you're fine.
Yeah.
That was arguably one of the funniest news conferences I've ever seen.
So
Why do they make these fucking people do this? Because let's be honest. So for those of you at home who don't know what I'm talking about, they have an annual physical for the president. And the doctor's got to come out and do a press conference and say, everything's great. So it's fucking awesome.
He's going to live.
Yeah. And every year in the history of fucking man, they've given the same goddamn answer. It's pointless. No doctor is ever going to come out and say, oh, guys, I've got bad news. I just checked the president.
Sure.
And he's going to die.
Yeah, he's very unhealthy.
Very soon, he's gonna die, and it's gonna be very soon.
They went to the edge of saying he was unhealthy, though.
Nah.
He could benefit from
losing 10 pounds, is what they said.
No.
Yeah, this is what he said.
Well, he said, he could benefit from a diet lower in fat and cholesterol, and maybe get out and exercise a little bit.
Sure, and he said he could lose 10 pounds. I want to go over his stats. For the audience, because we've met him, and everybody's trying to ascertain whether or not the statistics that they gave on the president's height and weight are true. First of all, they said he was 6'3". I'm 6'3".
I would say he was 6'3".
6'3", yeah. We were seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
When we talked, and he's same height.
Yeah.
Same height as me. That's true. Now, the weight at 239. That one's a no-go.
If he was 239, then he would only lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
But
he's not 239.
He's not 239.
No. I will say this. He is not as fat as they make him out to be in the press or on television. So that's kind of a facade.
He wasn't when we saw him.
Yeah.
But it's been a while.
But I don't think he is now, and I'll tell you why. They're putting... We did a show about this where they're, saturating his color and and Melania and like the whole family, they're trying to, and Bannon in particular, they're trying to make look worse than they look. Look, Bannon's not an attractive guy, but not by no means is he as fucking red. I mean, they really bring out the saturation in all of his photos and shit like that.
I don't know. He looks pretty horrible.
But in picture, have you seen him in person?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at some, photo shots of him, yeah, he's not a good looking dude, but he's not as blotchy and red as they make him. All you do is scale back that saturation, make him look like shit.
Did they add the stubble and flaky skin?
No, but what you do in that saturation, and again, I know way too much about this because of Instagram and shit. If you hit that structure button, I don't know what they call it in photography, but on your Instagram, it's structure. So if you hit that structure button and slide it all the way down, that brings out every hair, pore, freckle, everything you have. Mm-hmm. And it'll turn, you're gorgeous. You're a gorgeous woman. I could make you look horrific just by sliding that all the way down. And the saturation's the other one. If you go, again on Instagram, if you just want to try this test on Instagram, slide the saturation button down in the edit all the way down. It'll give you a face like a demon. It'll make you look like you've been sunburned for 30 days. I mean, you can look horrific.
Okay.
So that being said, in these photos of Trump, he's not as fat as in real life.
They're stretching and stuff.
Really, really pulling it out. And it's
weird angles.
Well, and also if you zoom in on a photo, you know this.
Yeah.
You zoom in on a photo or take it too close, you can make anybody look like shit. You can make anyone look fat. They made Channing Tatum look like he was fucking 300 pounds the other day. I was like, oh man, I saw a picture of him 2 days later. It's fucking fine.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So you can really distort that. My guess on what Trump is, I would say he's probably closer to 259. I would add 20 to that.
Yeah.
He's probably 260. 255, 260, somewhere in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say he's bigger than that. So the rest of that is a fucking stretch. Also being president of the United States adds stress and fucking pressure. God damn it. Are you kidding me?
A little.
And that's every president. Dating back to, when I remember when Bill Clinton got in. Because let's face it, the 80s presidents, Ronald Reagan was fucking old. He looked great, but he was fucking old. And it was just all right, he didn't really change that much because he was already that fucking old.
Right.
Bush Sr. was after him. Same thing. He was already fucking old. I couldn't tell whether or not the rigors of the job were really getting to him. Mm-hmm. Clinton was the first one for me. When I saw Bill Clinton, because when he came in, fresh face, playing fucking saxophone, that's, to me, was the first president that I had seen go through those rigors where you're like, oh shit. By those final 2 years of the presidency, Bill was looking fucking old. And you were just like, God damn it, man. That job really does wear on you. Then Bush Jr. gets in there, same thing. By the end of his 8 years, he was looking just exhausted. I mean, he's just out.
Yeah.
Just Obama, same thing.
Obama was the first one that I remember seeing that distinct change.
He got thinner, which he was already a thin man to begin with.
Thinner, older looking.
Face, hair, everything. And it was just, you could tell that job had just worn on him. And, look, Trump, there's never been a president more under fire than him every single day. Where it's usually you forget about the president on a day-to-day basis until something fucked up happens. Every day, that is the only source of entertainment and news. Therefore, all of that shit is just weighing on you every single day. And there's a picture every single day and a statement and everything. And it's just that job, fuck.
Right.
And we talked about this with Oprah. Same thing. That's my biggest reason why she probably wouldn't run. Is the stress of that job, just seeing what it does to people. And it's again, a doctor's not going to come out and say, hey, this job's super stressful and this is why so-and-so looks like shit or they're going to die or whatever. So it's we have no fucking idea. You trotting out these doctors every year doesn't mean shit to me. Doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. And this poor fucking asshole, this doctor, he had to sit up there and give a news conference in the White House press briefing room. And they're asking him the most ridiculous fucking questions on the planet just to get some story. What's he going to say?
He's not going to say shit.
Say shit.
He also said that upon Trump's request, he did a cognitive test, and he got 100%.
Yeah, 100% on the cognitive test.
The cognitive test is, hey, can you go out there and just say, is there anything that you could say addressing my like mental
state? Yeah, and again, like I don't think anything's wrong with him mentally. Like I don't. I don't think that he's lost his mind or he's crazy.
Nothing's wrong with him mentally that hasn't already been wrong with him.
Yes. Again, yeah. Like there's nothing pattern of behavior
new,
mentally that has been new for the last, in my eyes, 20 years. He's been in the public eye for so fucking long. Nothing's changed. So, it's not like he's losing his mind. But you trot these fucking people out, you do the whole goddamn thing, and it's just.
And some people fall for it, need it.
Just the worst. Just the fucking worst. There's another fucking thing that I want to dive into that I think is the worst right now. This is going to be a super unpopular opinion, but I want to get into this Aziz Ansari sexual assault scandal that's going on. I'm not a huge fan of Aziz Ansari. So this isn't coming from a place of like, we were buddies or I knew him. I knew him casually. We did a lot of shit at Funny or Die. Mm-hmm. He was in a group called Human Giant with Rob Hubel. I cast Rob in his first movie. We've been friends for years over that. And, he's always been pleasant and fine. Kind of weird, kind of a loner, but nothing... not a sexual predator to me. And over the weekend, I want to say it was Friday night?
I think
Friday or Saturday. A website called babe.com. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like babe.com has this groundbreaking story. And I'm like, the fuck is babe.com? I thought it was like a bot or like a fake site or whatever. And then this story kept popping up every day. And look at this. It's not often we get a little FaceTime on the show. Hey, it's Jared Taylor.
Let's say what up.
This is a crazy one. Jared, you were actually live on Ross Patterson Revolution.
Perfect, because you know what? I got a bone to pick.
Do not. We are live on air, so I'm going to put you on the speaker.
Plug him in.
Hang on. I'm going to plug you in, okay?
I'm really trying here.
Oh, no, take it out.
She's not making my fucking bed.
Who's not making your bed? Who is that?
Who does it look like?
Oh, was that Heather? Jeez.
Oh, okay.
You. By the way, you are literally live on air right now.
Yeah.
The two of you. And I can't edit this out because we're doing video. So, Jared Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Cat Puke Taylor has joined us. Hi, Heather. How are you? That's Heather Leno. She's been on Drinkin' Bros podcast. She is part of the Black Rifle Coffee crew. How are you this fine morning?
Great. I'm about to go to work. I didn't know all this was happening.
Yeah, look, I didn't either. I didn't know any of this was happening.
I was going to make the joke about the bed.
I just wanted to make the joke about the bed.
And we had that on our show. So I told our audience at home, I said, look, there's a guy who believes in making his bed every single morning, and that's the way to start your day. And I agreed with you. Heather does not agree with you on that front. She leaves her room like a goddamn mess. Is that correct?
She doesn't make my bed, Ross.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't make the bed. Jared takes this very seriously, and you come and fucking sully up and dirty the whole goddamn house, but yet you get to reap the benefits when Jared comes home and the bed is made.
Right.
Yeah, but he doesn't shower or clean himself. He only cleans the room.
Yeah, but the room is clean, and that's.
I'm a clean fucking human. I just don't make the bed.
Yeah, that's a nice start to things.
Doesn't make the bed.
She doesn't make the bed. Well, look, I love you, buddy, and I'll call you after the show's over. This is in, and there's nothing I can do about it. So. I find it ironic that you use the phrase "the cat is out" for Cat Puke Taylor. Look at that, just two people in love. It's rare that you find love in a hopeless place this early in the morning, but we're in a snowpocalypse. It's good that you guys are keeping warm out there.
Oh yeah, look at our green screen.
Oh, look at that place, isn't it?
Tonight, we have
Gorgeous.
we have a video coming out that you all are going to love.
What's the name of the video?
It's called Boob Genie.
Boob Genie. All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Will that be on a Black Rifle Coffee site?
It'll be on Drinkin' Bros. It's Party Ben plays a genie that lives inside Heather's boobs.
Perfect. It's good because she's never been exploited before, so it's nice that she's able to lend herself to just one exploitation video. I love you guys. Have a great day. Heather, enjoy that bed being made.
Yeah, will do.
All right, bye.
Bye. Well, and look at that. You never know
There
who's
you
just
go.
going to call in with your buddies shacking up with somebody.
There you go.
Yeah. It ties right into our sexual
There
assault.
we go. So let's keep that going.
This appears to be joyful sex. The Aziz Ansari thing, that was on Babe.com.
Right.
The trusted news source of Babe.com, which she wasn't denying, which is why the story didn't go away, was apparently not consensual, but kind of consensual. And here's where I have the fucking problem with that. She described in vivid graphic detail of their fucking one night stand together, which by all accounts, like, you know, they met out, they had some drinks, they texted a few times, chatted over a few days. They ended up, you know, going out, then went back to his place to hook up. And she was like, you know, he put my hand on his penis 5 to 7 times or whatever. And it was just like, you know, after the first time, if that wasn't your jam, could have set up. Great. I'm gonna pack her on up and get on home. Aziz Ansari is probably, I would say in real life, probably 5'6", 5'7" maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably weighs about 145 pounds.
Sure.
That is not a man who's forcing anyone to do anything at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And during this sexual encounter that she was just like, I was just so like appalled by everything that
Crying the whole way home
and all of that. And she allegedly texted him the next day and said, I was not okay and I was uncomfortable with what went on or whatever. To which he apologized for and said,
he said, I totally misread the situation and I'm sorry.
Yeah. In a text message.
That's not, I'm sorry for raping you. I'm sorry for da-da-da. It's like, he didn't get anywhere. Like, they didn't have sex.
No.
He didn't get a blowjob.
Nope.
I think he might have gotten a blowjob.
Huh.
But, yeah, so it wasn't anything like that. It was like a sexual encounter. One horny little douchey douche. I mean, he's a little douche.
Yeah.
A little horny fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And kept trying. And she kept sticking around. Like, she'd be like, no, oh my God, let's just watch a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's going to think like, okay, let's just cool it down. Like, sit, watch a movie, and then like start fooling around again. So at the point that you don't want to do it, you got to go. Because you can't like stick around and like sit next to him on the couch and watch a movie. And, you know, just go. And maybe he's drunk or whatever it is. But if you're able to go, then go. Yeah. If you're not, that's an issue. If you're being held, if you're being kept, you know, against your will, if he's locking the door, if he's like not giving you a ride or whatever it may be, like, then that's shitty. But you were able to leave. Yeah. Call a car. He actually called one for her.
Exactly. He not only did he call her a car, but again, he is not
it was
physically
a douchey encounter. Like it, and the thing is, like, we've all had them. It's a douchey encounter of like, okay, this guy tried really hard to try and get sex and he didn't get it. Right. And it happens all the time. I'm sorry, Grace. They were calling her Grace, but I'm sorry, Grace, you had a date with Aziz Ansari and it didn't go so well. But what the fuck is this?
Yeah. And it's not like Aziz is some poon hound who's out, you know, banging ass every day of the week and has been his entire life. No, he's a guy, truthfully, in my experience of being around him, who is kind of uncomfortable with being a celebrity, has never had girls, it appeared, before, because I knew him before he got famous, like super famous.
Right.
he was never like, no girls were ever talking to him at the parties we were going to, and at the events. Like oh my God, there wasn't supermodels throwing themselves at him. So now you're thrust in the spotlight. He's probably trying to figure out dating, and you have this awkward sexual encounter because he's a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
And the encounter that this woman described happens every fucking day in America.
You know what the first
I've had 1,000 friends. I bet you've had experiences where you've gone out on dates with people where shit has gotten awkward like that, and you probably left. You're probably like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one of the very first nights after we had met, and I was in New York, and you called me, and you were at a party with some friends, and some guy had asked you to stay and be part of a threesome. And you were like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. And I was on the phone with you, and I could hear him say it in the background.
Yeah.
And you were literally like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. And you were like, hey, can you stay on the phone with me while I just get the fuck out of here? And I was like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, does this happen to you all the time? And you were like, yeah, this type of shit happens all the fucking time to girls.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said, look, this happens all the fucking time to girls. And you were like, but you just leave. You were like, I'm leaving now. Look, I'm on the phone with you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to walk out. You weren't far from where this party was, a few blocks.
Living?
Living.
Yeah.
I stayed on the phone with you till you walked home. I believe you got a pack of smokes on the way home because you used to smoke cigarettes back in the day.
I used to be a little cool gal.
Yeah, but you handled the situation. The girl that you were with stayed. Fucking happens all the time. Like,
it's fine.
So if you're
and the days of like these days too with Uber and all this shit,
everything.
Like you can get out of the situation again unless if he's holding the door, if he's being super forceful, if you can't get up, like that kind of stuff is when it's scary. That kind of stuff is when you write a fucking article. This douchery that happens all the time, and I guess that's the point, is they're trying to be like, this can't happen. Sorry, this is going to happen. The other thing I was thinking is, I've heard this is Leonardo DiCaprio's kind of MO too, but he's Leonardo DiCaprio, and nobody's pushing him away.
What's his MO?
His MO is just this very like, which kind of Aziz did, which was like they go to a dinner, kind of he rushes her through, get home to just have sex, basically.
That's every guy on the planet,
right? Well,
no guy wants to sit through fucking dinner.
But he left like she had like a full glass of wine, she had food, like. It was a rush job that, like, I don't think you or, like, a lot of guys would do, but some douches for sure do it.
Yeah, but
it's not an every guy thing, but it was like, okay, that's what happened. And then, so Leonardo DiCaprio is this, he's been known to just be this, like that, just like, hey.
Yeah.
And you do it. Or just during sex, like, on the phone, I forget, he's, like, on the phone, or he's just, like, so... Like,
I can tell you this dude, DiCaprio's the ultimate stick man, obviously.
For sure. And like,
for
he
years
gets it.
and years and years, he's had women throw themselves at him. And I have personally seen it to the point where I'm like, oh my God, when he opens up the weather app on his phone, it is raining pussy every fucking day for that guy. There is not a day where he's got just sunshine. And it's,
you wouldn't cry about it, but you would be like, oh, that was uncomfortable, but I slept with Leonardo DiCaprio.
But most girls want that story of I fucked DiCaprio for their girlfriends.
Is not that story, but he is acting like he is. And so that's the difference. And it's the old joke of like if Clarence Thomas was fucking good looking.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a thing of like, it's okay for certain people, or you have these douchey encounters. Because she would be into it.
The prime example of this is Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe had sex, admittedly, with a 16-year-old.
Right.
Nobody's rehashing that story because it's fucking Rob Lowe, and the girl was just like, yeah, it's Rob Lowe. Like, I fucked Rob Lowe. Nobody's saying anything fucking negative about Rob Lowe. I think, going after somebody like Aziz Ansari, the comments I've read online are just like, oh, I knew it. Just looking at him, he looks like a little weasel and all this other shit. And it's just like...
he is, but it's not a sexual predator.
No.
He's a weasel. He's a douche. He's like,
Harvey Weinstein was
idiot.
overpowering people too, and it's just like that's physically intimidating.
He had power over them too. Like, and Aziz didn't have any power over this girl. She didn't work for him. She didn't want a job on the show. Nothing. It was just like a date that didn't work out for either one of them.
Right.
He didn't get to hook up. She didn't get the like nice cuddle on the couch that she wanted, and nobody was physically hurt. But it was a shitty date. It was a shitty date.
Yes. And the reason why I bring up this story in particular is I think if there's more stories that come out like this that are just kind of about shitty dates or somebody asks you to touch their dick or whatever, you're going to kill this Me Too movement. And just because now it seems like it's starting to feel like a witch hunt where it's just like, who can we out? Who's ever slept with somebody famous? And I know these news outlets are going after everybody they possibly can for a story just so they can out the next person, just so they can break it, just so they can take credit for it, like this babe.com. I've never fucking heard of this goddamn site. Now they break one story. How many people did they fucking go after to try to get this one story to come out is my question.
Exactly. They're just like, I don't know.
I have a real big issue with this one. And, in this, why aren't you coming forward? Like, why are you Grace? Why aren't you your real name? Like,
that was the other thing too. It's like, you're so brave.
You're not really brave if you're really anonymous.
Brave.
Everybody else who's been under shit.
That's the kind of thing that you tell your girlfriends. Like, I don't know. It's just, it wasn't to me. And it is unpopular. Like, it's an unpopular thing to say. But there is a growing number of women and women in the industry even that, like with this Catherine Deneuve thing, where it's like, they're starting to be like, we need to stop the witch hunt part of it. And a lot of women are kind of getting on that board too, because they don't want to dilute their message.
Yeah.
Because this kind of shit dilutes the message.
Dilutes the message, and you're going to start like, the other thing too was the other one over the last, I don't know, week or so was James Franco. And with that, I've still not yet to read a story where somebody was forced to do anything or... Yeah.
No one's coming forward, right? Or said, like 7 girls?
There was 7 girls who said they felt uncomfortable in his acting class, that they were his mentor. But to be fair, they were doing, they had these sex scenes in classes of how to act during sex scenes and things like that, which I've, no lie, I've taken those classes.
Oh,
because
I've never taken those. Yeah,
I did. And so you go in and it's kind of to make you feel comfortable about these awkward scenes of kissing someone or being like, unclothed or shirtless. Because a lot of people have a problem with just being shirtless, guys and girls, right, in front of each other. And these classes were voluntary. It's not like it was part of our fucking program or anything like that. It was voluntary of like, hey,
I'll take it.
Sort of, but I will say
Sign me up.
I did. So I took it, and it's as awkward as it sounds. So it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is a fucking blast. Because you can attest to this. Getting nude for a film, having a sex scene or a kissing scene in a movie is super awkward. There's 60 people around camera. Yeah. And the more you can feel comfortable with that type of movements and behavior, then, when you get onto a set and have to deal with it, because you will. If you're a man or a woman actor doing scenes... I didn't
need classes for that.
Yeah, you didn't, James. She's a pro. She's a pro. But once you... I like how you watched yourself on the monitor.
I know. It looked cool.
Yeah, because it's an audio show and they couldn't see you.
Oh, sorry.
Doing a Wonder Woman lasso above,
you better tune in.
Above your head. But it's one of those things where it was voluntary. You take these classes. You know what you're getting into when you take these classes. They tell you. And it's whether or not you want to be comfortable with yourself and try to do things and experiment. And they're totally experimental. The ones that, because I was taking I immediately hopped in after NYU to an acting class in LA. And I'd heard about these classes and they were on Friday night at like 9 o'clock. Totally. But doing it and getting to do it, you were like, oh shit. And understanding the movement and what you're supposed to do towards camera. Because it's fucking awkward and weird. Like when it came down to doing it, like in a real movie for the first time, if you hadn't done it before, it helped a lot. for me personally, where I was just like, oh, all right, cool. I know what to expect. I know how to make it look good for camera. I'm not going to feel awkward about this. And these girls, these women who complained, they signed up for this class. They did it, and then they said they felt awkward afterwards. Congratulations. Like, you knew what the fuck.
Yeah.
You knew what it was and what you were signing up for.
And then what is this Ali Sheedy thing?
I don't know. I don't know what the Ali Sheedy thing is. She did a movie with Franco.
Really?
And she did, yeah.
But it wasn't even about that. She was just like, I don't think he should have been able to even attend the Golden Globes. Like, who are you?
Well, she said she did a movie. She did a movie with him and had a really bad experience. What that was, I have no idea.
It might have just been annoying.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
But again,
I don't know.
They went through, I will say this, they went through all of his work instances, every place that he's worked. So he was teaching it at NYU, I believe, or UCLA, I forget which one. He was a professor there. Not one single student had a bad word to say about him. Anybody who's been, on the movies he's directed and been in, nothing. Not one single bad word to say about him. Nothing on that soap opera. Nothing on Freaks and Geeks. Nothing. They had no reports of any sexual allegations in the industry for fucking 20 years against him.
He had like some Instagram situation, right?
He did, where he was hitting on some girl who ended up being underage. But
I think it was just through Instagram.
And it didn't
through
actually
DMs,
go, through direct messages.
It didn't go farther than that.
No.
Yeah.
But
it was
he got outed of like,
yeah.
Hey, you were in on a 17-year-old.
And I think he's funny enough that he'll be like, oh.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry.
And like, look, I saw the picture of that girl. She looks like she was fucking 28. But whatever. So that's another one where it's like I saw him get buried on the talk shows last week on
No, and he's just like, I
Colbert,
don't know.
He
goes,
like,
I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
I really don't know what I did. And with him, I kind of believe him. There's some people that I'm just like, you know what you did. But at the time, it wasn't that bad of a thing, But you kind of did something, right?
I guess.
But like James Franco, I genuinely feel like he's like, I don't know what I did. I'm fucking James Franco. Like, nobody gets uncomfortable if I hit on them.
And again, I did a film with him. There was some attractive girls on set for those few days. Fucking, he didn't even talk to him. He didn't even talk to any of them.
They wanted to talk to him.
Yes, they all wanted to talk to him.
He
didn't talk to any of them. He was more concerned about the process. I told you he was interested in directing. Yeah. All he wanted to do was hang out with the director. He didn't talk to not one single girl.
I like him. Unless something comes out, I'm gonna maintain that. Like,
same. I'm gonna stick with this one unless something comes out. And then again, if there's some horror story, then absolutely.
Yeah. And not just like we hooked up and it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that shit.
No.
I don't want to hear about shitty dates. I want to hear them from my friends. Super entertaining.
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh my God, he what?
Yeah.
He kept putting his dick on your butt?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Rimmers for Benicio.
Sure, but I'm just like, and that's what MCs did, I guess. He was super creepy, let's say. But like, it's one of those things that you're just like, oh, and then he did what? What'd you do? I left.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I don't want to hear about any more shitty.
Rimmers for Benicio.
Shitty dates. Yeah, I would love for something to come out about Benicio.
Well, what are they going to say? Is some girl going to come out and say, I get a 2-hour rim job in a fucking hot tub? Like,
no. They're going to be like,
and that's it.
I just want to say thank you to Benicio.
Yeah, for that rimmer. It's
just a lot of
thank you
season. Notes.
It's ass eating season out there.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Cold out.
A lot of people ask me, by the way, because I've said this on our sister show, Drinking Bros, and Jared Taylor joined us with a lovely lady. I want to say this regarding ass eating season because we did an episode on it. A lot of people have asked, when is it? When is that season? When is ass eating season start? It's the last week of September, and that extends until the first week of April. That is officially ass eating season
because it's not too hot.
Yes,
or too cold.
and like, did I make this up? Yeah, I'm taking full credit for this. I'm making this up. Ass eating season is when it's colder out. That's you're not sweating all goddamn day. You're not you're not at any outdoor festivals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
You're not getting that damp down below for that to destroy a nice experience like a rimmer. Either way, guys and girls. And so that's ass eating season. It's a lot. Look, it's a lot like deer season, probably.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably same.
Probably the same.
Samesies.
Yeah. And then you're just heating up the other individual.
Sure.
You know what else is heating up? Jersey Shore is back.
God, really?
Yes, it is.
How?
It is.
How?
They're going on a road trip to Miami, and they're going to go fucking party in Miami. All of them, the entire original cast is back except for Sammy Sweetheart.
Really?
Yeah, she declined. And they asked her, and she politely declined and said, I'm not coming back.
Good for her.
Yeah. She's so brave.
God.
She's so brave.
No, I'm serious. That sounds like a nightmare.
A nightmare. But yet I'll watch every goddamn last second of it.
But to be in it.
Yeah. The weirdest thing to me is, how many years ago was Jersey Shore in the air?
I don't know.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
I remember Snooki and JWoww had their own show after that. That went for a couple seasons.
Right.
But they haven't been on TV for a while.
Right.
I think Snooki might have been on Dancing with the Stars. And the reason why I bring it up is they would have to be fucking close to 40 now.
Are they?
Situation might be 40.
I think he is.
The Situation's got to be 40.
So the final episode was 2012.
Shit, 6 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, look up Mike the Situation Sorrentino. If I know my Jersey Shore.
Oh wow.
People, like I think I do. I think I do know them.
Yeah, I think that you do.
He's got to be close to 40.
Yeah. What do we got?
And what is he?
He is 35.
You're kidding me.
He was born in 82.
What?
Wow, he looks
mid-40s.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
He looks older than that.
Yeah. Well, you fucking juice that much.
You juice that much?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're triple stacking.
So I guess they all are around that age.
Yeah, probably. But my thing is this. You go through the trials and tribulations of life. He's been through tax evasion charges.
Snooki's only 30.
God, you're kidding me. You're kidding me.
How is that possible?
I don't know. She looks fucking old as shit too.
Wow, she really did a lot by age 30.
Yeah. She's worth millions. She's written like, I don't know, 3 best-selling books. Let's face it, she didn't write them. A ghostwriter did.
Sure.
But she got credit for those. And her shows, she's got millions of dollars. She's got millions of dollars. But my problem is she's got, 2 kids now? Mm-hmm. JWoww's got a kid?
2 kids.
2 kids?
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie, who was with Sammy Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Ronnie let's see. He's got a girl knocked up. She's 6 months pregnant right now.
Okay.
Situation's been through tax evasion charges. I think Vinny and who was the DJ? What's his name?
DJ Pauly D.
DJ Pauly D.
And Vinny.
Those 2 are still right as rain. They're still doing the same shit. My buddy books them on things. And
they're still living their little life. Which, I have to say, they're all 30. Like, they could still be partying.
Those 2 could. But if you got 2 kids
if you have 2 kids, no. But then also,
and then the Situation is 35. That you're past that peak to me.
Yeah.
We had a guy in our fraternity who was fucking older. He just would not graduate. I figured out later in life that he was smarter than all of us. He was just smarter than us.
Because he was just like ratting it out.
Yeah. I want to say he was in school for close to 8 years. But he was going for like a law degree. So, I mean, I guess it's fine. But I remember at 26 or 27, he was on my last spring break, and I was 22, and I was just like, man, yeah. And he was prepping for spring break season, like he was an in shape motherfucker, and he lived for spring break, and we would all of us were like, man, you believe fucking old ass so-and-so is still fucking doing this.
Killing
and
it.
Yeah. And he was still hooking up with girls and doing the whole shit. And it was just like, but he looked older.
28, 26?
He was 26 or 27. He looked like El DeBarge a little bit.
Age,
and yeah. And like, dude, we made fun of him religiously every year because, from 18 to 22 was what was our, most people's college and spring breaks. He was 23 to 27 still going on spring breaks, and he'd gone on 4 before that. He had 8 college spring breaks, let alone whatever he did in high school. For as much as we made fun of that guy, looking back on it now later in life, congratulations. You game over. You won.
Right.
He figured out the game and beat the game, and he's a goddamn hero for it.
Hero
for
spring
it.
break.
So when I see this Jersey Shore thing, as weird as it seems now that they all have kids and all of that other shit, I look at 3 of them, the 3 without kids, Vinny, DJ Pauly D, and Situation.
Yeah.
And I kind of, for those 3, I kind of look at it like, God bless you.
God bless you. You're 30, 31, 32.
Amazing. 35.
One of them's 35. One of them's 35. That's a bit. That's on the top. But he's a guy. If it was a girl,
he is, and it's like, man.
So that's still 35 for a guy. Is still like we're still figuring it out.
We
still don't know if we want to settle down or not.
Oh, it's great.
A lot of them are.
It's great.
But the other thing is,
3 of them are going to break off in rage.
Listen, the moms are going to get wasted.
Yeah. They're going to get
if
wrecked.
Their kids are with someone being taken care of.
Yeah, they're being taken care of.
They are going to get so mom wasted.
Oh.
It is going to be
a shit show.
Yeah. They're going to be like, the husbands are going to be calling. They're going to, because
I don't think the Dina chick is married. Yeah, I don't think that Dina chick is married.
No, is she going too?
Yeah, she's the whole cast, except for Sammy, sweetheart. She was like, no, I'm not going. It'd just be too uncomfortable. Or
she's married.
Oh, she is. Sammy Sweetheart's married.
No, the Dina girl is married.
Really?
She's 31, yeah. And Sammy is...
I think she's got a boyfriend, but I don't think she's married.
No, she's not married. She's 30. Whatever.
Yeah, she said she didn't want to go. It would be too awkward with Ronnie. And I think she stepped away from the limelight a little bit and is focusing on, like, she's got brands and, hair products and tanning and
boring one.
Yes, she was. So they're not
good.
They're not going to miss her. She was the hottest one.
But the most boring.
The most boring. They're not going to miss her.
She wanted to just have like a real, like, normal relationship on the Jersey Shore
and like have a glass of wine,
come home and have some pizza and go to bed.
Watch some Netflix.
And it was not going to happen.
It's like, hey, bro, you're on Jersey Shore.
Yeah, like,
it's time for you to
step it up or ship it out.
Buck wild. But I will not miss one single episode of that.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Also,
I want to talk about a Rostradamus prediction that came true already. And this was a big prediction I made, like a huge prediction I made.
Okay.
And it's already coming to fruition this early, which I was just like, fuck. I said Spike TV and Comedy Central and CMT and MTV and all that shit were, because they're all owned by Viacom. Which Viacom is Paramount. I said that all of them would eventually cave and just form into one network, either called the Viacom Network or Paramount. They did. They're calling it the Paramount Network now. The first channel to go was Spike TV. They just pulled it.
Really?
Yeah. So Spike TV is now going to be under this Paramount Network umbrella. And if you're telling me the rest of them aren't coming, and somebody asked, there's this thing called the TCAs. Where it's for the critics. They get to come and talk about the upcoming schedule, shows coming out this year, shows that are getting renewed or picked up. And they get to ask the presidents of these networks what's happening. And they said, hey, what are you going to do with the rest of these stations? Oh, we haven't, there's their exact response. We haven't heard anything, just whatever's in the news is what we're hearing. And it's like, oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
And with Spike going under now, the president of that network, he just said fuck it and opened up his Twitter last night and just unleashed like 100 tweets about what the network was like, and really like, and they were really funny, and like I don't know if he had a writer do it or he did it himself, but Yeah, I mean, he went on. He just went down through the shows and said what was shitty, what wasn't, what the pitch meetings were like everything, and it was endlessly entertaining. I read it all last night when I was waiting for the files to download for the new show, and it was awesome. But reading this and then reading the reactions from the presidents of these networks, that they're all gone now. I mean, you're going to smash them all together and it's over. The reason why I bring this up too is because this Jersey Shore thing, MTV is still trying to stay MTV and stay a brand. They got fucked before, and I had to deal with these fucking people when I went into pitch meetings before. Was back in the day when MTV was MTV with Tom Green, Jackass. You had all the fun shit on there, TRL, everything. They nuked them all, and then put in and nuked the executives, and they brought in the heads of Lifetime Network to run MTV. So you started seeing all these fucking shows that were bullshit and everything else for the last 5 years, and it ruined the brand of MTV. MTV just wasn't fucking cool anymore. It was Teen Wolf.
Teen Mom,
Awkward, things like that. And Awkward was an okay show. But it was off brand. It felt like a better fit somewhere else. Right. And they brought in new executives. So now they're trudging out all these old titles. TRL is back.
Okay.
Jersey Shore is back.
Got it.
So you're going to start seeing these older reboots and things work.
I'm okay with it.
They tried a new Jersey Shore. It was like Florida, Georgia
line.
Yeah, Florida.
That's a band.
Florida, Bama. Yeah, they mixed something like that. Or the Keys.
Okay.
They had the Keys.
Oh yeah.
That was one.
Yeah.
They had another one. And it was just like, the Keys is essentially a remake of Laguna Beach. Just in a different city. Mm-hmm. The Florida Bama thing was essentially kind of a remake of that redneck show that they had in West Virginia, which was fucking awesome.
Was it?
I
Wasn't Heather on that?
I love the shit out of that. No, that was on the CMT. Yeah.
Oh wait, the one where our little buddy.
Yeah. So the one who the lovely lady who just called in with Jared. She was on Redneck Island on CMT. But yeah, the one with the guy who died.
Oh.
In Mudden. Yeah, that one.
I loved him. What was it called?
I forget.
Anyway.
But there. So you're going to see these titles.
How do I find the Paramount?
Pop out. The Paramount Network.
Yeah, because Waco.
That's a great question. So they're launching their network with the premiere of Waco.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the 24th.
Yep. So that is the day that this new Paramount Network will launch. Waco is going to be their first series. And they're going hard. They were, people were bitching though at the TCAs. I mean, somebody even stood up, one of the critics, and was just like, "Hey, this feels like a fucking old network." And these
Buck Wild, sorry,
yeah, Buck Wild. These series that you're trotting out here feel old. Like Waco it feels like an AMC or like an FX show, not like a young, Spike Paramount type of
pretty much
thing.
Anything that you're going to do with, I think it's a smart move for any network to do something about a well-known murder anniversary of stuff.
I do too.
It doesn't matter young or old.
Not if you're starting off your new network at Paramount and you're trying to bring in exciting people to watch your shit.
Everyone's going to watch Waco.
But I think so. But if you can find the channel. So,
yeah, but I'll find it.
FXX went through this as well.
Oh, yeah.
When they started their new channel. Starting a new channel and having viewers just find the channel. That is the toughest part. There's a new network called Pop TV, which is doing a lot of shit. Christine Lakin's show is on there.
Hard to find, and it's also in like SD.
Half the cable is in SD, half are in HD, depending upon who your cable provider is. And you go through these growing pains to come out of the box with Waco on a new channel. Obviously, you're trying to get people to find your network and watch it. Is that the most exciting series to start with? I don't know. That's what the critics have said. But another critic stood up and said, hey, we also heard a rumor that CBS is trying to buy Paramount and consolidate. And I was just like, ooh. So are they doing these shows now just for a strong library? That was one of the questions, and I was like, that was something that wasn't on my radar. I had a feeling all of these Viacom networks and with Paramount and all this shit would eventually roll into one, and I still think that. Like Spike was the first domino. The rest will fall, I can promise you. The CBS to Paramount thing is super interesting because I didn't think Fox and Disney, I didn't think that deal would ever be a thing. It is now. Now, everybody else is probably getting together saying, all right, great. We're all going to have to form apps the same as Netflix. Everything is going to be app-based within 5 years. You're not going to have, a lot of people are going to be cutting the cord and all of this shit, and it's just going to be apps. So how do we become an app that everybody pays for? And it's the biggest library is going to win. Because, look, the most amount of shit you can throw at an audience, then you're going to have to buy it and want to watch it. Case in point is Hulu. Hulu is, they say they have 76 million subscribers or something like that.
They might.
Or maybe seven. I think it's 17. I think I'm way off on that number. I think it's 17 million subscribers. They just signed on George Clooney to come back to television yesterday. And I was like, what? I'm sorry?
What?
Hulu? Yeah. So Clooney is going to go back and do a limited series of one season of a show that's based on his favorite book, Catch-22. And he's going to direct it, produce it, and star in it. And he's going back to television, but he's going to Hulu. I never would have guessed that in a million years.
People love it.
There is people that love it. I still don't meet anybody, though, who's just like, oh my gosh, have you watched Hulu? Like, I just cannot stop Huluing or watching Hulu. I haven't.
Huluing.
Yeah. And I've had, look, a bunch of my films have been on there over the years. And occasionally I would get a message from somebody who was just like, oh man, I'm so glad your movie's on Hulu so I could watch it. And I was just like, yay. But that, it used to be free, though, when that was going on. Now it's not free. So I don't know. It's weird to me. Like, everybody allegedly loves that Handmaid's Tale show, and it won all the awards. Yeah. And it's Hulu. But I still don't meet anybody who's just like, oh my God, I got Hulu. I'm just gonna Hulu and chill tonight. Like, that's still not a thing yet.
I do.
17, yes, I think it's 17 million. I was way off on 76, but 17 million. And, Clooney's coming back, and they're buying up everything, the old libraries of everything. So, I think it's a competition going on. I saw that Comedy Central bought all the offices. So The Office is going to run on Comedy Central now.
Oh, smart.
But who owns that? Viacom and Paramount. So it's like, dude, are they just building up these powerhouse libraries to sell off to CBS one day? I don't know. We'll see. Crazy, crazy times we live in. And that'll bring us to the last one. Comedians in cars, getting coffee. A lot of our listeners have emailed in and said, hey, have you watched this? It's on Net. It just came to Netflix. Are you a fan or whatever? I've made fun of Crackle in the past. And I'm still going to Crackle in the past, because Crackle tried to be a Netflix for comedy. Right. They only do comedy. And look, I appreciate that they've been buying shit and making stuff because there's not a lot of comedy out there. They even financed a movie. They did Joe Dirt too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they did that. It airs exclusively on Crackle. So for you Joe Dirt fans, if you want to go out and watch Joe Dirt 2, it's on Crackle if you can't find it. And I was surprised when Jerry Seinfeld signed on to do this series with Crackle. They had a bunch of money to throw at people, and they were opening up the vaults when they first started. I took a bunch of pitch meetings there, and they were just like, man, they were giving money away to people. I took pitch meetings, though, after the good got good. Like, after there was hardly left any meat left on that bone.
Sure.
By the time I got in there, there was another comedian I know named Owen Benjamin, who had sold a show to them, and we had a mutual manager at the time, and they were like, "Yeah, man, he got a $500,000 advance," and I was like, "What? At Crackle?" Yeah, I was like, "You can't get a fucking $500,000 advance at a network." And they were like, "Yeah, they're really trying to get things in there." So I was like, "Fuck! If he got a $500,000, and he was unknown, Still kind of is, I guess, to a certain degree. He's not, massively famous. How much did they fucking give Jerry? They must have opened up the fucking vault and gave him whatever.
They had to have.
Yeah. That being said, I did not get the Crackle app. Never watched it online. No. Did not bother with Crackle. I did not want to get into some weird subscription. I just didn't want to get into.
I don't want another email coming in.
The Crackle, and over the years, the last few years, I've always gotten messages or emails saying, "Dad, I really like this Comedians in Cars with Jerry Seinfeld," and I never watched it.
Anyway, so it's on Netflix.
It comes to Netflix.
Yeah.
I just want to let the listeners know I did watch it. I started watching it. I was like, fuck, all right, it's on Netflix. Yeah, I'll give this a go. It's fucking great.
It's so good.
Really, really great.
It's so good.
And we've gone through half of them. There's 3 seasons. I didn't even know there was 3 seasons worth of shit.
I know.
I was like, it's probably a 1-season show. Because I never heard much about it because it was on Crackle.
Sure.
And it's fucking great.
It's really great.
And they were asking, a lot of listeners were asking who my favorites were. Gary Shandling was number 1 for me. The Gary Shandling episode was fucking awesome. And it reminded me of my interview with Christian Kane the other day. Everybody who wrote in was just like, dude, I fucking love that interview because it was just 2 old friends talking. Making each other laugh and fucking bringing up weird old stories and getting the truth about inside shit that normally you would never get to hear about. That's exactly the way this Gary Shandling episode felt to me. You could genuinely tell they were best friends in real life.
Yeah.
And they hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And they went back and snuck onto the studio that they were both on because they were both shooting TV shows at the same exact time on the same exact lot. And they snuck in, went down there. They walked through the old Seinfeld set, which was still up.
Oh my God.
And that was the first genuine moment out of Jerry Seinfeld where he was just like, oh my God, I have not, he was looking around and he was just like, I have not been here in years. And he goes, this is incredible. And they went through the set and literally by the end of their day, walking around set, Jerry Seinfeld just turns to Gary Shandling and he goes, man, can you believe this? All these years ago, it's like what we used to do. And he goes, man, we used to run this town. And he said it in a serious tone.
Right.
And it was just
They did.
Because at the time, Seinfeld, obviously the biggest show on the planet, to me, still is the biggest sitcom of all time. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Or arguably, I would put Friends at 2, maybe slot in Cosby Show at 3 of biggest sitcoms of all time. Mm-hmm. And Gary Shandling. The Gary Shandling show, first of all, Gary Shandling's super underrated.
Groundbreaking, yeah.
Yes. His show was fucking awesome. He was, it was about the Gary Shandling show was a behind the scenes of what a talk show is like. It
was the first of how The Office is, where it's a real mock documentary show, kind of, and they're looking at the camera and they know the camera's there, something like that.
And it's awkward. All the scenes are awkward,
so
the awkward pauses and the screaming at each other and the way, that set up The Office. It set up everything afterwards.
Everything that's like The Office, which
in
is
that
so
format.
Many things, yeah.
And you think back of who would approve a show like that. HBO did, and when it was on, every comedian and every comedy writer. If you didn't watch every week and love that show as much as, because you were like, oh shit, this is the new world. This is so groundbreaking and amazing. This is,
oh yes,
fuck. And to have those two, there were 2 drastically different shows. You're looking at a traditional 3-camera sitcom, and then this Gary Shandling show. Both excellent styles of comedy, both at the top of their game at the exact same time. Seeing those 2 get together and rehash old memories of where they used to do it was fucking amazing to me. And it was just a genuine friendship where some of the episodes, that we watched, like with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is gone.
Bye-bye.
He is checked the fuck out.
Bye-bye.
And the way he's talking to people now
crazy.
But it's also condescending.
It's condescending. It's rude. It's narcissistic. I'm the only person that matters in the world. My thoughts are the only thing that matters. My idea of how life is supposed to be is the only thing that matters. And it goes from a little bit kooky to rude.
Yeah.
Actually, like,
and what
not
he said to the
nice.
waitress, what's your name?
Yeah,
Molly. Well, you're Molly today. You're not going to be Molly
today.
forever.
That's not who you really are. And
you're going to find that.
And she's like, okay, well, I feel like a Molly for now.
For now, and you're going to find out who you are one day. And it's just like, get the fuck out of here.
It's not funny.
Shit. No,
it's not funny. If it was funny, go for it.
And it's weird, and like, you could see where half of him can still turn it on.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing of like, I bet if you had to take a meeting or something like that, you could. But he just feels like a kid or whatever. He's entitled. And that's when I saw that documentary. That was the first thing I thought too. It's like, he is just an entitled, rich fuck now.
Yeah.
That is so unrelatable. Doesn't understand what it's like to be like a real person in the world, just trying to make it through.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the luxury of just like getting rid of everything and you're not a real person. It's like, we don't have the luxury of doing that. We can't be crazy at our fucking job that we need, you idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't all fucking spin around on fucking tops and like paint. Like we have to make a living.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway.
And that one, look, he was checked the fuck out. I like the Howard Stern one because it's totally Howard Stern. That's him. Cameras are on. He's gonna put on a show, and it's great. It's to me, it's entertaining. Kristen Wiig was weird. She's silent. She's just kind of quiet.
She's not in real life. Well, when they were at the pie place, she was really funny. I don't know. She's not like a totally on person all the time. She has moments.
But there's a difference between being on and just being a genuinely funny person all the time.
Right.
Like, I think.
Yeah.
And I think there's some, like Kristen Wiig is a perfect example of somebody who can just turn it the fuck on and
just
crush.
Go nuts. Yeah.
When she's on camera, when she's off camera, silent, just wants to keep to herself.
But she even said it on camera.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing is,
and I have met people like that. Like I haven't seen the Steve Martin episode yet, but that she reminds me exactly how Steve Martin is in real life, of just very quiet, keeps to themselves, but yet I can somehow manage to crank it the fuck up when the cameras are on.
Right.
So I don't know, but I love that show, and I'm going to watch every single episode. We've gone through
was Jimmy Fallon. It was a two-parter.
I haven't watched the Fallon one yet.
Oh, so good. And then Sarah Jessica Parker was actually a surprising one to me because I don't love her.
Right.
But she just laughs at Jerry. So it was him being able to like be a comedian the whole time.
Right.
And so it was really, really fucking funny. So don't skip over that one. I know you would, because it's like Sarah Jessica Parker. She's not the comedian.
Right.
But Jerry gets to really turn it on and have an audience of some girl that's just giggling at him. And it's really, really good. It
made me like Jerry Seinfeld more.
Yes. I love him now.
So do I. And I went through a stage with him. Bunch of them, because having done stand-up myself, like I've never enjoyed his stand-up. It's too vanilla for me. Right. It's in the same school as Leno for me, and I like edgier, dirtier comedians, probably because I'm disgusting, and that's what I enjoy. So I never dug him as a stand-up. Then he had Seinfeld, and that was fucking incredible, except for the series finale, which was awful. Where they all end up in jail. Right. I'm not a fan of that. But afterwards, he did a documentary about his life, about how he is addicted to stand-up comedy, and he takes a private jet. So he goes from New York, he'll do shows in New York, and then take a private jet to Cleveland, and then take the private jet out to LA so he can get that last late night set in, because you're getting 3 hours, flying across country, so you can get it in. And it was after Seinfeld had ended, and it seemed really, really fucking depressing. Right. And it was a really depressing documentary to me about, you're taking a private jet to perform in front of 150 people in Cleveland. That's just a lot to me. Yeah. Addicted. He is. But now when you watch the show, I remember that phase too, and I kind of felt the same way. It's just like, you're just like, lost, I guess. Lost. But then when you see this show, you realize how much of a comedy connoisseur he is, and how much he studies the craft, to where when someone says a joke to him, he breaks it down and says, this is why this is funny, and I love this part when you did this here. Absolutely, yeah. And so it's almost like a professor. I mean, he is the
like professor of comedy.
Yeah. So you go from that doc to me, which was super depressing, and I just didn't think about Jerry Seinfeld anymore, to watching comedians in cars with coffee. That was the thing that stuck out to me the most. Of like, he is a real genius on comedy, not only timing, but moments and beats and
bits and like saying bits without them being bit. Like he knows and
remembering,
he's thinking about that. So he's not just like blah. He's like, where do I say this when? What face do I make here?
Yes.
Wait this long to wait. And it's like this mathematical equation.
He is naturally funny all the time. Where watching him in that show, you're like, great. He gives the guests their moments, but when they're boring or whatever, and he needs to slot in, like he'll go for it.
He'll also just talk shit, which I love too.
Same.
Where it's just like,
and I was like, to me, when he was talking shit, I was like, where is this in your stand-up? Like, I fuck that guy. I would love to see every night, not bits and jokes about peanuts and where do we go?
Right, but that's his thing.
I know, but like. You can change and you can evolve and grow as a comedian and all this stuff. And like,
we'll say, stayed on brand. You know, we love a
right.
person that stays on brand.
100%. But this Comedians in Cars with Coffee, look, although he loves cars and shit, was a little off brand to me. It was just like,
it was just real though. It wasn't him doing different comedy. It was like a window. I think the whole thing was like a window into how he really is.
Yeah.
And man, I don't really think you've ever seen that. Like he doesn't do a lot of interviews.
Selfishly, I want to see more. Yeah. I want to see more of these shows, and I hope they keep going.
We have a lot to watch, so
I'm so stoked about that.
Yeah. But anyways, that was a good recommendation. Did people recommend it?
A ton, and that's what got me into it.
It was really good.
Yeah. That's what got me into it. And I was just like, all right, cool. Because I'd gotten it a few times over the years, again, on Crackle. And I was like, bro, you can take the Crackle shit out of my fucking face.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. So thank you to listeners for jamming that down my throat, because I needed it.
Needed it in your life.
Now we're getting to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we? Revolutionary figure of the day is going to go out to a little man you know and love named Buzz Aldrin. Second man on the moon.
Whoa.
First man in your heart. Second man on the moon. Neil Armstrong was first. He was second. Buzz Aldrin, to me, like, I've made endless jokes about Buzz Aldrin. I don't know why. I think he's fucking hilarious for some reason. Like the whole spaceman thing to me is really fucking funny. And he is just a genuine badass. And like if you go back and look at his old school pictures of him, you're like, oh fuck, that's what a goddamn man is supposed to be. That's what a fucking man is supposed to look like.
Sure.
That's what a spaceman is supposed to be. And there was a story last night on TMZ with him yelling at a Delta employee in the Atlanta airport, which we've had our fucking run-ins at the Atlanta airport. Not the friendliest. Something happened with his flight. It wasn't real clear on what it was, but he had to get bumped and put on another flight. And he's in this wheelchair, and this woman behind the counter says something to him that he doesn't like. Fucking old-ass Buzz Aldrin, dude, just hops up out of this wheelchair, stands up, and was just like, God damn it, I want to talk to the fucking manager. And he goes, I want to talk to the owner. If you don't think I can, I can. And it was just like, cool. There was a moment, too, when there was like 3 people around where I think everybody knew it was Buzz Aldrin, and they were just like, hey, how do you fuck with a guy who's been on the moon? And I think the audio wasn't as clear as I would have loved it to be, but I think he said, let me talk to the captain of the plane, which is a baller ass move.
What can he do?
But here's the thing. I've never heard that before.
No.
Of like, usually you hear, do you know who I am? I'm going to get you fired, that type of shit. Not, let me talk to the fucking captain of the plane.
Right.
Because they had claimed this flight had left or was late or something or whatever. And he goes, let me talk to the captain of the plane. And I think she said, well, what do you want me to patch you into like the flight tower? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you can do it. And he goes, believe me, you can fucking do it. And it was just like, oh, well, shit.
Buzz.
It is Buzz Aldrin. If there's anybody who knows about tapping into a flight tower, let's be honest, it's probably fucking Buzz Aldrin.
Right. What a crazy.
To throw down the gauntlet and say,
Yeah.
you know what? If there was a problem with this plane and this plane left early or something like that, let me talk to the fucking captain. I know you can do it. I didn't blink twice. I was like, shit, yeah, fucking Buzz Aldrin. You're goddamn right. He could tap into the fucking thing and talk to the captain. And he probably knows the way to do it through the flight tower. So this one's to you, Buzz.
Buzz.
I don't know if he's the only man left alive that landed on the moon, but if so, fuck, man, he got out of that wheelchair real goddamn quick.
I love that.
Real quick.
That's what a goddamn man does.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, everybody, I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate Jared Taylor calling in.
As always.
Always a box full of surprises around here.
As always, Jared.
Not only that, it was FaceTime. So like we physically got to see him shacking up with somebody. If you or a loved one is going through a midlife crisis, please call someone for help. Also, don't do it with FaceTime. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.